Hello everyone. In today's tutorial video, we will be seeing how we can add a team and what is the importance of creating a team, along with what are the prerequisites you need to have in order to create a team. Basically, a team is a part of a tournament which is going to be responsible for bidding for players. So if you have as you can see, for this current tournament which we created in our previous video, we have four teams. Now, in order to create a team, you can either create it directly from here via view tournaments, or you can go to tournaments and go to my tournaments. Here you have an option to add team. Else you can again go to setup tournament, and there also it will have the same view as add teams, which is available here. For now we will be doing it via add teams. Okay, so here we have our team registration page where we have to add our specific teams which are going to participate in this auction war. Foremost, you need to add few of the very basic details about the team in order to enroll the team for this specific tournament. We would need a photo. A photo would be a logo of the team so that they can continue and they have their own distinguished identity in the tournament, because this logo would be visible at various places during the auction as well as during the tournament. Let's add first logo here. So this is my first logo for my first team. I'm going to name this team as Comic Tigers. Now you need to add the owner's name. For now, we can say it as Singh. This is just a dummy name for our reference. Now, this is a very critical thing which needs to be taken care of very well. The owner email. Basically, owner email has to be someone's email ID which is exist and is cannot be a fake email ID or something where it is like a 20-minute or a disposable email ID. Okay, because if you don't add a correct email ID, you won't be able to do any kind of bidding in this flow. So if you want to even do a mock auction, you want to try out a platform or something, please ensure that you add a correct email ID. If you add a fake email ID or something, you would end up adding the teams, you would end up adding the pools, and you would end up adding the players as well. But you won't be able to do the auction as well, because without logging into the system as the team owner, you won't be able to do the bid. So here in our system, basically the bids has to be done by the team owners on their own from their logged in account. So if you want to do actual bidding, you have to have a correct email ID. Without a correct email ID, you won't be able to do the bidding. I am again reiterating the main important point, which is a critical point here, that the email has to be a valid email. Otherwise, you won't be able to do actual bidding in the platform. You can still see the videos and all the things available uh, to just get a feel of the auction. But in reality, if you want to get a hands-on experience of how the auction would be working, you won't be able to do it without adding a correct email for each team owner. So this is my first email. Mobile number is optional. Even if add data or something, we won't be sending any communication emails or marketing data to this email, so you can either add it, you can skip it. Okay, passwords are also optional because the team owner can then do a forgot password at this time of doing the setup and get their own password and do it on their own. So you can skip all these three fields: mobile number, password, and confirm password, as they are optional. Team budget and denomination again remains the 10 crore which we have defined at the start of the tournament. So we would try to keep it as this. Now I will do a create tournament. Again, at the time of creating the tournament, it will ask for a confirmation, which is again the same thing that if you are going to do, you need to add a correct email ID. Otherwise, you won't be able to change the email ID as well. Plus, you won't be able to do the bidding at all if the email ID is not valid, because you won't be able to verify yourself into the system. Make it, I will ensure it that it is a valid email, and then I will do a create team. Once I do a create team, the team is available. Now I can add as many teams as I like, but obviously the condition would remain that if we have find 4 teams here, we can only add up to 4 teams. Now, just to repeat the same process again, for better clarity, I will add one more team, Wolves. Email for this user as well. So obviously, if you add the same email for all of them, it won't work. So basically, ensure that you have all the 4 emails for testing the application as well, and for real auctions as well. Otherwise, you would be stuck here, and if you add some fake dummy emails which do not exist, then you won't be able to actually see how the auction flow works, which is the core critical and the most beautiful part of the system. So if you want to experience that beautiful part of the auction itself, you need to ensure that you are adding a correct email ID. I will now create this team as well. I confirm and do a create team. I have 2 teams available. I will add one more team just for better clarity. Comic Eagles. I will again confirm it and I will create a team. Once this is done, you would be seeing 3 teams. Now, since we have defined it to 4 teams, again, this is the maximum number of teams that can register to the tournament. If there are less than 2 teams, it won't allow you to move ahead. But if you have added more than 2 teams, it is all okay to move ahead without even adding the maximum number of teams required. So, if you want, you can even leave this thing as it is. So you will be having 3 teams. If you want to have 4 teams, which is a current data which you have added at the start of the tournament, you might have to add 4 teams as well. Do note that if you are moving ahead in the registration phase itself, you won't be able to add any more teams after once that is done. So if whatever the teams you have want to add, you add it in the draft phase itself. Create team as well, and once you do a create team here, you would be back to the create team flow at the pop-up, which will ask for a confirmation that the email ID is correct. And once you create a team, your team would be visible here, and you are done. Now you can only edit these teams as per your requirement if needed, but the maximum number of 4 teams which we have defined at the registration process of the tournament are created. Now let's suppose by mistake you may added some wrong information. You can just go onto the triple dot, click on edit team, and you can change the details, like if you want to name comic tigers to comic tiger, or if you want to update the logo, or if you want to change the budget, you can do that. But do ensure that now the email IDs cannot be updated against the team owner. So basically, that is one thing which you need to always ensure. As per now, we are done with the team registration thing. We are also done with the pool setup for the pools which are going to be used for the auction, and we are ready to move ourselves into the next step, that is the registration phase. If you have any questions, please do add them in the comment section, and I will try to answer them as easily and as quickly as possible. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on the video as much as possible. And do stay tuned for upcoming more tutorial videos on for the auction chase platform. Thank you.